Good day, dear friends. Tucker Carlson expressed his conviction in a conversation with American conspiracy theorist Alex Jones that the United States lost the war against Russia while simultaneously destroying Ukraine. He emphasized that this war was waged by the American military, the Pentagon, the State Department, and the CIA. At the same time, Carlson claims that despite their defeat, no one in the United States will openly declare this. Let's look at this topic in more detail. The American media landscape was rocked by a bombshell statement from prominent TV host and journalist Tucker Carlson. During an interview with conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, Carlson declared that the United States has been defeated in a war against Russia, waged by the Pentagon, State Department, and CIA. This is not mere rhetoric. It is a direct challenge to Washington's entire foreign policy strategy. Why would Carlson, a polarizing yet influential figure, make such a claim? What lies behind his words and how do they reflect the growing divide in American society? Let's unpack this. Before dissecting his statements, it's crucial to understand the messenger. Tucker Carlson is a former Fox News primetime host whose shows drew millions of viewers. His style, provocative questioning, criticism of the Washington establishment, and defense of conservative values made him a lightning rod. After leaving Fox, he became a symbol of alternative media, where his takes grew even sharper. Carlson has long opposed U.S. involvement in Ukraine, calling it a war fought to the last Ukrainian. His audience includes conservatives disillusioned with globalization, and those who see Russia not as an enemy but a traditionalist ally. This makes his statements politically charged, yet reflective of a significant segment of American sentiment. In his interview with Jones, Carlson lambasted Washington's approach to the conflict. The war is lost. The U.S., he argues, underestimated Russia while overestimating its own capabilities. Sanctions, arms deliveries, and diplomatic pressure failed to break Moscow. Instead, they destroyed Ukraine. Elite cynicism. No one in Washington cares about dead Ukrainians. Ukraine will become a third-world country, he stated, hinting at demographic collapse and infrastructure ruin. Strategic blunder. Carlson insists the conflict was never about aiding Ukraine. It's a war against Russia to weaken a geopolitical rival. These points align with Moscow's narrative, lending them weight among critics of the Biden administration. Context: why now? Carlson's remarks come at a pivotal moment. Frontline stalemate. Despite Western aid, Ukraine's 2023 counteroffensive stalled. Western fatigue. Debates in the U.S. and EU grow over the cost of funding Ukraine. 2024 elections. Republicans, many aligned with Carlson, demand cuts to aid for Kyiv, prioritizing domestic issues. Admitting defeat means admitting the collapse of American hegemony, says political analyst Michael Hudson. But Carlson goes further. He urges the U.S. to adjust expectations and abandon its role as global policeman. Official Washington ignored Carlson's claim, but media erupted. Critics label him a mouthpiece for Kremlin propaganda, noting his February 2024 interview with Putin. Supporters hail him as a truth-teller exposing political hypocrisy. He says what others are afraid to whisper and writes the American conservative. In Russia, Carlson's words were met with approval. MP Oleg Matveychuk called them an admission of the obvious. The West cannot defeat Russia on the battlefield. Historical parallels: Vietnam, Afghanistan, Ukraine. Carlson draws parallels to past U.S. defeats. Vietnam, 1975. America spent billions to lose a foreign conflict. Afghanistan, 2021. The Kabul retreat proved 20 years and trillions couldn't buy victory. Ukraine is Act 3 of this tragedy, says historian Anne Applebaum. But the stakes are higher. This is about the global balance of power. Carlson's claims echo Russia's foreign ministry. Sergei Lavrov has repeatedly stressed arms shipments to Ukraine equate to direct participation in the war. NATO training and intelligence support make the bloc a party to the conflict. The West sought Russia's strategic defeat but achieved the opposite. Our economy adapted, our military grew stronger. Putin asserted in a recent address. Stats and facts. What do the numbers say? Military spending, the U.S. has allocated over, according to the Ministry of Finance, the European Union provided about 75 billion euros. According to Donald Trump, the United States provided about $300 billion. According to the Forbes, about $115 billion were spent on the CBO. This is a war of attrition, and Russia is enduring the blow, concludes economist James Galbraith. The future. What's next? Carlson warns, the U.S. must learn from this defeat or face collapse. Possible scenarios. Frozen conflict. Negotiations a la the 1953 Korean War armistice. Escalation. NATO's entry into the war, risking global chaos. Ukraine's fragmentation. Carlson argues the country is already destroyed and could split into spheres of influence. Washington needs an off-ramp that saves face, says CIA Director William Burns. But this requires dialogue with Moscow, which it's not ready for. Conclusion. Defeat or strategic reset. Carlson's statement is a symptom of America's foreign policy crisis. Even if exaggerated, it raises critical questions. Do U.S. ambitions match its capabilities? Is the public willing to pay the price for global leadership? Can a modus vivendi with Russia coexist in a multipolar world? As philosopher Francis Fukuyama noted, history hasn't ended, but the West seems to have forgotten how to win in it. The Ukraine crisis tests not just Washington, but the entire international order. What forecast do you see for the future in this situation? Did the U.S. really lose and destroy Ukraine, or is there another alternative? Write your opinion in the comments, like or dislike. Thank you for your opinion and that you care.